And a little more about that top story. The nation's still reeling from a string of explosive devices sent to prominent Democratic Party figures throughout the past week. Recipients of the suspicious packages include former President Barack Obama, the Clintons, actor Robert De Niro, and more. The event started on Monday when billionaire and outspoken right-wing critic George Soros became the first known target. The device contained several components for an explosive device, including powder, and at the time, it was not known that the package was a part of a much larger plan.
That's right. It was not until 2 days later that officials realized the package was not the only one of its kind. Wednesday morning, the Secret Service announced it had intercepted suspicious packages addressed to former President Barack Obama, as well as Bill and Hillary Clinton.
The New York police said none of the targets actually received the packages, as they were intercepted before they could be delivered to the actual address. Shortly after, CNN was covering the latest on these devices, only to realize a similar explosive was actually in their building. The entire time, Warner Center, which houses the CNN New York bureau, was forced to evacuate, causing the CNN anchors to actually interrupt their own newscast.
We're going to jump in. There's a fire alarm here.
You might have heard it in the background. We're going to find out what the latest is
we'll
here
be right back.
at CNN. We're going to be right back.
The building had to evacuate because of a package found in the center's mailroom. The newest target in this plot was former CIA Director John Brennan. The device ended up in the Time Warner Center because the sender addressed the package to CNN.
All four packages so far have held several similarities. They contained the same components of a bomb and listed the return address as former DNC Chairman Debbie Wasserman Schultz. A package had also been sent to Obama's Attorney General, but due to an incorrect address, it was sent back to Schultz in Florida.
And on Thursday, the package total continued to grow. 2 explosives were sent to former President Joe Biden's Delaware home, and another suspicious package went to actor and Trump critic Robert De Niro. Both have highly criticized President Trump and his administration in recent years.
So Mayor de Blasio joined members of the FBI and the NYPD in a briefing Thursday afternoon, and according to FBI Assistant Director William Sweeney, phone calls relaying tips to the organization increased by 139%. Although officials responded to questions, Sweeney stated that they couldn't divulge in all the information for the sake of the investigation, and on the same day, rumors were circulating that the person responsible was from Florida.
And an arrest in connection to the incident was finally made yesterday morning. Officials arrested 56-year-old Cesar Sayoc in a parking lot in Plantation, Florida. Sayoc was living out of a white van, which was covered in stickers denouncing Democratic Party figures and media outlets. Investigators tracked down Sayoc when they traced the packages to a packing center out of Miami.
Okay, so then they find the center, and then they use the DNA fingerprints samples along with the cell phone geolocation information to find the suspect. And according to Attorney General Jeff Sessions, Sayoc is being charged with 5 criminal counts related to the devices. If he's convicted, he will be in prison for 48 years.
While the Secret Service did not know of Sayoc, the suspect has been arrested for a series of events in his past. In 2002, he threatened to blow up a power company, stating it would be, quote, worse than the September 11 attacks.
Records tracing Sayoc's arrest include arrests for grand theft, battery, fraud, and drug possession, and more. Although Sayoc is now in custody, it's unknown whether more packages are in the mail. In fact, a 14th package was added to the grand total even after Sayoc's arrest. This recipient of the bomb was meant to be Democratic donor Tom Steyer.
So Noah, many of his coworkers that he's worked with in the past, several former employers, have come out and said that they're not surprised that it's him, the person that's been sending these packages. He's been reported as being very much of a loner. He was very politically adamant at work, always talking about politics, showing a lot of hatred for Democratic Party leaders. So people that know him, they're not surprised by this.
It stretches much further than that, though, Rebecca. It's not just the Democratic, it's not politically charged. He is a white supremacist. He's labeled as such. He said that he hates anyone who isn't white. He hates gays. He hates Jewish people. He hates literally anyone that isn't himself. And to me, that's a huge red flag. But what are we supposed to do? Just anybody who hates any sort of group, we're supposed to condemn them? It's a very tough situation. But of course, this one is something seen coming with that background, especially with all those arrests.
I mean, I completely agree. And, there's been a lot of outrage about how the media has covered this story. But at the end of the day, there are people that hate political leaders on both sides of the aisle. And you can't blame the Trump administration for this.